Tommy, I don't even know what to make of Saturday's game. There's
I know what to make of it. You
talk
you
about it.
can you can I feel like you can take a little celebratory dance because you've been to the point we've been joking about it. You've been harping on one person for the last 8 months, and they made one of the biggest plays in Celtics history on Saturday night.
Yeah, Derrick White. I've said this. He's the ultimate Alfred. He's the ultimate Alfred, and you need Alfreds in the playoffs. So let's go through a couple things on this. So Boston now is 5-0 when facing elimination this postseason. This particular play, it's the sixth game-winning buzzer beater when facing elimination. The last one I was a part of, that was Kawhi's buzzer beater over Joel Embiid in 2019. It's only the second buzzer beater in NBA history in the playoffs when facing elimination and trailing in the game. The other one was Michael Jordan's shot from the foul line in 1989. I
Yeah,
never knew that. That's a crazy stat.
I saw
That's
that too.
how big the shot was.
That felt shocking to me that hasn't happened. It hasn't happened before, even like in a random first
Right.
series or something like that.
Right. It's literally backs against the wall. Watching the game, I wanted to say something real quick. Watching the game, I was like, oh, Boston's going to win it. And then it was like, how is Miami in this game? Right. With Jimmy and Bam just not playing well at all. 9 for 37 combined. Jimmy obviously scored some points at the end. We'll talk a little bit about the 3-point shooting in a second for Miami and their Alfreds, who have been fantastic in this series, especially the last 3 games. But I want to go back to Derrick White real quick because it wasn't just the buzzer beater. So Boston really struggled shooting threes. Derrick White and Marcus Smart were the only 2 guys to make a 3. They were a combined 7 for 18 from 3. The rest of the team was 0 for 17. Derrick White, as a passer, Boston shot 6 for 8 off of his passes. Miami was 1 for 12 when he contested their shot, and Jimmy Butler was 0 for 6 when he contested his shot. So just a fantastic all-around game. He's played well throughout these playoffs. Just a huge difference maker. On the last play, because I was having this discussion yesterday on the golf course with people I was playing with. On the last play, the reason obviously that he was able to sneak in there and get the offensive putback was because Max Strus was essentially face guarding Jayson Tatum, trying to prevent that. Now, a couple things to unpack on this play. There were 3 seconds left. I think there's enough time where even if Marcus Smart had decided to swing it right back to Derrick White, he has time to catch and shoot in 3. So I'm not going to question Spo. I'm not questioning Spo. I don't necessarily love the face guarding, especially with Tatum kind of coming out towards the top of the key. He's going away from the basket. And then he's got to turn and face and probably take one dribble and shoot a tough contested shot. I think you leave yourself a little vulnerable by taking Max Strus off the ball. Now, there's a bunch of different ways that you can teach how to guard that, because I've been in that situation. I've literally guarded the inbounder there, and you can play straight. We're going to take away the corner. You can take away the corner for 2 seconds and then jump to the top, but you always kind of want to have that visibility on your guy, especially if it was, we're having a different conversation if it's 1.2 seconds, right? If there's 0.8 seconds. With 3 seconds, I don't love it. I understand why Spo had Max Strus do that. I just don't love it. And the other part, I want to get your thoughts on this because I know it was all over Twitter yesterday. I'm still trying to figure out why there was 3 seconds and not 2-point-something seconds, which ultimately was the difference in the putback.
Yeah.
Because I've seen every screenshot, and I'm trying to figure out why there's 3 seconds left.
Well, you saw the explanation that was going around yesterday. I'm sort of asking you this because I still don't really understand myself. Is it because of how they reviewed it, they were able to do this versus if they had only reviewed the shot for being a 2 versus a 3, they wouldn't have been able to review the time?
Yeah, that makes sense. I glanced over the explanation. I saw that they put it out. I got to reread it because, again, the screenshot with Horford and a hand on the side of Jimmy, that was it. The foul itself that we all thought was called was at 2 point something.
Yeah.
So the sense of confusion there, I think, is
But it's weird because the foul at 3 seconds would not have been a shooting foul, right?
not a non-shoot. It was not a 3-point shot. Exactly.
Yeah. I want
to gather. What a finish. But this is what makes this such a crazy play. Was that, and we didn't even mention this, like Marcus Smart, first of all, it looked like it was in, and it literally fell to the one spot where Derrick White would have time to just go right back up.
I will say though, Tatum was also, Tatum was on the other side.
Okay.
My question for you about what you just said on the way Strus defended it was, especially when you just, with the numbers you just talked about how Derrick was shooting on Saturday night overall, he would have been wide open in the corner. I mean, there was nobody near him. He just had it was like a free reign to the basket.
Well, it was interesting because when they did it, when I saw what Strus was doing, I kind of said to myself, "Oh my God, is Boston going to recognize this?" And Derrick White literally just throw the ball into anyone. Marcus Smart coming towards the ball, they're going to double Tatum, get it right back. You've got a wide open three. Yeah. Now, ultimately, that's not what happened, but I don't love it.
I'm trying to think. Did you bring up what when Derrick was guarding Jimmy, the numbers there when Derrick White was guarding Jimmy
at the beginning, at the top of the show? I did.
Yeah. Hey, can you remember a sort of role player who's been this impactful for a team like this? Because this is a guy that he guarded Trey in the Atlanta series. He went back and forth between Maxey and James in the Philly series. Now he's doing this with Jimmy. Forgetting even the heroics of that, just how he's played offensively. Struggled a little bit in the Philly series shooting wise, but how he's played offensively this round. He's a star. I mean, like there's a world.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because I don't think people will look at him in a traditional sense and think of him as a star, but he's what I would call like a connector on offense, meaning he kind of makes the whole thing work because he can shoot, he can pass, can play a little bit off the bounce, but he's not a high usage player. So to me, he complements Jaylen and Jayson as well as anyone on this team. Then on the other side of the basketball, he's able to guard. It's not just like, oh, I can guard multiple positions. No, think about the guys you just named. Think about how different it is to guard Trae Young and to have a 40-foot pickup point and navigate ball screens all the way up there. How fast and just, slithery Trae Young is right off the bounce. He's tricky. Then you go, all right, now he's guarding Jimmy, who's big and strong and methodical. And he holds his own against that. Like I think of Derrick White as a star, but obviously, he's not going to get a face on the game preview. If they make the NBA final, it's going to be Jokic versus Tatum. But Derrick White is as important as anything. And look, Jayson and I talk about this all the time. And we talked about it when we did the Alfred episode on Islands in the League on our YouTube channel. The best legacies are the best players who win a lot, right? It's the Jordans, it's the Kobes, it's the Brons, it's the Stephs. Those guys aren't winning on their own. If the Boston Celtics end up getting back to the NBA Finals, it's going to be a mark on Jayson Tatum's career. It's going to be a mark on Jaylen Brown's career. They end up winning a championship, right? Now, all of a sudden, we can start talking about Jayson Tatum as one of now the six guys, would be the sixth guy to be the best player on a championship team, that sixth active player, along with Giannis and Kawhi and KD and Steph and Bron. So, it changes his legacy. But you know what? He's not getting it done. He's not going to get it done tonight, and he's not going to get it done in the finals without Alfreds, without Derrick White. Same thing for Jimmy. Same thing for Jokic. These guys are as important to winning as any star player could be. Of course you need stars. Of course you got to have a 1 and you got to have a 1A. I get all that. But you need these guys. You go back historically, whether there's John Paxson, Steve Kerr, Robert Horry. Think about Robert Horry. That's probably the most impactful Alfred of all time. Guy won in multiple places: Houston, San Antonio, LA. Big shot Rob, right?
Fisher. to a certain extent. I mean,
Derek Fisher's another great example. Yeah. Ray Allen for the Heat. Like, and that's why I think about that play and that shot that Derrick White had at the end of the game. And like, let's not diminish the historical significance of it and the potential historical significance of it if the Boston Celtics and Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown go on to win an NBA championship. Love it.